Ladies and gentlemen, greetings and welcome to Let's Talk Theory, the show where we analyze some idea and hypothesis around our favorite subjects. I'm your host, Zelrix, and today we're gonna redo one of my old French video on how to train your dragon. Why this remake? 3 reasons. First of all, in the first video I had forgotten some important details that led people to believe that the third movie had negated my theory, which it has not, but we're gonna talk about that later. Second, this is actually one of the most viewed video on my channel and I had a shit ton of fun working on it the first time. Finally, third and last reason, How to Train Your Dragon is my favorite animated movie of all time and my third favorite movie of all time, number 1 and 2 being detained respectively by Back to the Future and Coraline. Hashtag go see the Coraline videos. So I wanted to talk about it and expose you my theory on why did we see no Night Furies in the How to Train Your Dragon saga apart from Toothless. This video is strongly inspired by the channel Hello Future Me and their video on the subject. Go see the video, the link is in the description. They do a fantastic work exposing it. I'm also gonna spoil the 3 movies and most of the TV shows, so if you fear spoilers, this is your spoiler warning. Now, without further ado, let's talk theory. The theory is pretty simple. The Night Furies are not extinct. They're simply away. In How to Train Your Dragon 3, we learned the existence of the Light Fury, implying that the Night Furies are just a subspecies of the Fury species. We also met Grimmel. Grimmel is a Fury hunter. He claims to have slain every single Fury in the world. According to the wiki, Grimmel is 55 years old, but in How to Train Your Dragon 2, we know that Valka described Toothless as a 20 years old dragon, the same age as Hiccup. It implies that the extensions of the Night Fury is somehow recent, a few decades top. But what about Toothless? He have to have parents, right? Even if his parents died right after his hatching, something I strongly doubt, that would put the extension at the very earliest 20 years before How to Train Your Dragon 2, so 15 years before the first movie. But in the 9 years separating the end of How to Train Your Dragon 3 from the epilogue, we can see that Toothless has kids and his kids are still with him, they're still under the guard of their parents. In a Christmas special, we learned that dragons actually have a love season, they reproduce every year. That would mean that these kids are between 9 and 8 years regarding the wild factor of the actual hatchling of the Fury species. So at 8 or 9 years old, Fury actually stay with their parents because they need their protection. It means that to survive properly, in the first movie where he was 15 years old, Toothless had been on his own for a maximum of 7 years. And even then, can you see those baby Furies surviving in the wild, full of like big ass dragons, they're ready to eat them? Yeah, me neither. Then we have the flashback of Valka's abduction by a dragon. In this flashback, we don't see any Night Furies and as every good fan would, I assume they were dead. But what if they were not dead? What if they were just away or non-present near Berk at that time? But Valka actually knows the body of Night Furies. She can help Toothless deploy his great scale, something that Toothless himself can't do on his own. That means she must have approached a somewhat similar species of dragon before, further implying the existence of other Night Fury, even if she says Toothless is actually the last one. And then, if you remember the night Hiccup actually shot Toothless out of the sky, he was not attacking the village, he was just flying by. Nobody had saw any Night Furies for who knows long, and now, just for a little Viking to prove his masculinity, one just happens to pops up out of nowhere? I call bullshit on this one. Maybe Berk is just on Toothless migratory pact. Actually, let's take a look at the body of a Night Fury for a second. He is fully black. Black is known to absorb sunlight, make it warmer, and before sleeping, he often spits fire on the ground, making it warmer. At the end of the first movie, Hiccup actually says that on the archipelagos of Berk, it snows 9 months a year and the remaining 3 it hails. Granted, it's probably a figure of speech, but you get the main idea. It is a Viking environment, it is a cold archipelagos. Maybe Toothless is just a creature that needs a warmer habitat. Maybe the natural habitat of the Night Furies is somewhere a bit warmer than Berk. So, knowing this potential fact, we can understand why Night Fury were so rare in the archipelagos of Berk. They are just not fitted to survive in this environment. This is not their natural habitat. Then let's take a look at a Night Fury's morphology. It actually looks like a bat, it sleeps like a bat, and it has cat-like eyes. And once again, it is pitch black, or almost. Night Furies are clearly nocturnal animals. They're even called Night Fury, probably for a reason. A nocturnal animal lives at night, so it would be pretty difficult to spot them, especially at the Viking Age where technology was not as performant as it is today. Plus, Night Fury are kind of sneaky dragon. Even Toothless, while wounded, managed to sneak in and out of Berk, attached to Hiccup, without attracting too much attention. All those conditions, the fact that they are pretty rare, they are a nocturnal animal, and they're in an unwelcoming environment, could explain why nobody has saw any Night Fury except from Toothless. Then from the How to Train Your Dragon TV show, we have a dragon called a Deathly Whisper. All through the series, we can see that Toothless and the Deathly Whisper are a natural enemy, and we know for a fact that there are Deathly Whispers near Berk. But near Berk in the first movie, do you remember what was? The Red Death. It's big, it's powerful, it's a Red Death, one of the most powerful and dangerous dragons known to mankind. And it acted like a bee queen to other dragons. If dragons were not to kneel before the queen or making too weak of an offer, they would get eaten. But not Toothless. He did not bring an offering. Actually, he was not trying to steal any sheep from Berk for the Red Death, implying that the Night Furies were above the Red Death, or at least not affected by this tyranny. So Berk, it has a Fury Hunter, their natural enemies, a unwelcoming climate, but most importantly, it has a Red Death. In those conditions, of course the few Night Furies that were left on Berk disappeared. That plus the fact that, as mentioned before, they were too hard to spot in night and they were living at night and yada yada yada. But one very important point from the How to Train Your Dragon TV show is the Highland of Vanaheim. Vanaheim is an island where old dragon goes to die. It even has some dragon sentinel that keeps old dragon from flying away, ensuring that they die in the proper tomb. Right there, we have 3 proof that the Night Furies were never on Berk in the first place. First of all, on Vanaheim, there is a tomb for every single species of dragon we see through the series and the film, except one for the Night Furies. Then we have those sentinel. They are suited to fight any dragon, countering each attack, but they have no counters for Toothless attack, implying that they never saw an actual Night Fury. Finally, this island is ancient. It is made from the skull of a bewilderbeast, a much older bewilderbeast than the one in the movies. Because yes, the series has actually pretty much confirmed that the bewilderbeast we see in the movies is 2 or 3 years old max, if I am not mistaken. If you have a clearer answer, that's why I have a comment section. Anyway, this gigantic dragon had the time to die, decompose and merge with the island, and still no tomb of Night Furies. Even the sentinel, those made for dual dragons, can counter the attack of a Night Fury. This is natural selection, this is evolution, nature's way to ensure that the next generation will be fully suited to face the dangers that the previous generation had to face. And those dragons can't fight Night Furies. This is a process that takes thousands of years. There must not have been a single Night Fury on this island for centuries, maybe even millenniums. But if the island is that ancient, where did the Night Fury go to die before Grimael started hunting them? When I made my first theory on how to train your dragon 2 years ago, this was the main counter-argument for this theory. Grimael actually killed all the Night Fury. No, he hasn't. He is a Night Fury hunter, that's a fact. He killed a great deal of them, yes. But it doesn't mean that he killed every single Night Fury in the world. Keep in mind that we're in the Viking era. Some part of the planet is still undiscovered. Maybe somewhere there is an island full of Night Furies that Grimael don't know about. Even Grimael was surprised to know that Hiccup had a Night Fury, and before he saw the Night Fury, he thought that he had slain every Fury in the world. He hasn't killed every Night Fury. He thinks he has. This is a nuance that is really important to make, so I'm gonna expose it to you like a philosophy teacher once exposed it to me. If I were to see a red raven and report it to you, you would want to see this red raven, so you would go find the bird. But if you're in Canada, maybe the red raven is in France. Maybe if you go to France, the red raven would go to Ireland, and you would spend your life searching for it without ever finding it, without any proof that there is indeed a red raven. But that doesn't negate the fact that I saw this red raven, that it exists. This is the same thing for Grimael. If tomorrow one of his men were to go to him and tell him that on an island there is one Fury, he would go hunt the Fury, but maybe the Fury just vanished to his own island with his colony of Furies. Maybe they are part of the world where the Furies are massively numerous. Maybe they are part of the planet where Furies are the dominant species for who knows how much of square kilometers. The Grimael doesn't know about it, and he just can't, because most of the world is, as mentioned, undiscovered. I know this is a lot to process, so here's a brief summary. The Night Fury are indeed rare animal in the archipelagos of Berk. That, plus the fact that Grimael killed a whole lot of them, plus the fact that they're fast and sneaky creatures, plus the fact that they live at night, plus the fact there is a red death in their natural enemy Whispering Death near Berk, we can easily see why it would be hard to spot them and why it is an unwelcoming part of the world to them. There are probably some Night Furies somewhere else, maybe even some subspecies of Fury that we never heard about. I mean, these creatures are powerful. I'm sure they might be high on the food chain somewhere in the world, maybe even apex predator. These motherfuckers can summon lightning. Grimael, what does he has? A crossbow. Last time I checked, a crossbow bolt dealt a bit less damage than a lightning bolt. Anyway guys, thank you for watching my theory on why we don't see any other Night Furies than Toothless. Tell me in the comments down below which is your favorite dragon. I personally have a big soft spot for, of course, Night Fury, but also Bewilderbeast. While you're there, subscribe and activate the bell so you know when a new video comes up. Then you can go on my Instagram and follow me to support my artwork. It's always so nice and rewarding to see it grow. Don't forget to share this video with as many people as you can, and as always, thanks for watching.